Rio. So I was adding up all my receipts the other day from everything I've done to this Eclipse so far, and realized just what a huge chunk of change I've already put into this thing so far. Really began to wonder if I was just better off buying one without any issues that didn't need anything, because I practically invested enough money in this thing now to have purchased such. Yeah, I originally picked this up for $850, and I knew on the test drive that it needed at least a few things, and you'll have to check the older videos when I first got this or whatnot. I went over all that extensively, everything that I knew it needed from the test drive. And then I think I posted another video, everything wrong with the Eclipse, basically everything I found after the test drive, after I bought it, got it home and had it for a few days. And of course I found a few more things here and there working on it since. But yeah, so far, including the purchase price, I'm like $3,000 in on this thing. So yeah, I definitely could have just bought one that didn't have any issues and saved myself a lot of time and headache and whatnot. Except probably, you know, if you pick one up for like $3,000, which at least around here, for you to get a nice one with like under 200,000 miles, especially a GTS like this one in good shape, you know, you're at least in the threes. So usually in the twos, at least around here, they're either kind of a beater or they need a couple things. But there is a few advantages to doing it the way I did it and having to put, I don't know, probably 100 man hours into this thing so far over just buying one that didn't need anything. So for one, and the biggest chunk of change I've had to put into this, would be these nice aftermarket wheels here. So most likely you would not be getting your Eclipse with no problems in the $3,000 range with nice custom wheels, or at least it probably would have custom wheels. Wow, these chickens will not shut up, and ducks. When I got this actually had what used to be really nice aftermarket wheels, and they were just completely trashed, which is why I ended up having to replace with these ones. Had OZ Ultra Leggera wheels on it, which were like $360 a piece, but they were absolutely trashed. One of them had a crack in it, and after driving on it sometime, the crack let go enough to where it started leaking air. I contemplated getting it repaired, but I know it'd never be like 100%. Plus, it looked like crap, had curb rash. And that was the thing, all the other wheels had curb rash on them. At least two of the others, besides the one that was cracked, had dents in it. And so yeah, I just decided it was better to replace all the wheels and not deal with that crap. So definitely want to have these nice brand new custom wheels on one in the $3,000 range with no issues, plus the new tires. So you know, I got like $1,100 in this thing for the new wheels and tires. So that's most of the chunk of change, honestly, that I've got invested in it to get it up to around $3,000, including the purchase price. And again, I originally bought it for only $850 running and driving. The other thing is I got lucky, and it has this full Gretty catback, which is like a $600 exhaust system. So you'd be hard pressed to find that buying another one. But aside from that, having to do all these repairs on this thing, it's given me a lot of content for this new channel here. I'm trying to, you know, really grow the car channel here. So not exactly the type of content I was hoping to post with all the cars I intend to bring to this channel, but it's content nonetheless. And by the way, she's all muddy because it's winter in Ohio. It's like February something or other. And I take this thing to a lot of the ranges around here, which have like muddy gravel roads. So that's why she's pretty dirty right now. So not neglect, it's just the season. No, but the final thing I guess you could look at as a positive to having $3,000 invested in this and tons of man hours fixing everything myself is it's been a learning experience, because there were so many things wrong with this car, and some of them were so difficult to find out, and some of the things I've never had happen on other cars before. It was a real good learning experience. So now, after putting tons and tons of hours and fixing this thing up and fixing so many things, and I still have so many more things to go, but at least it runs and drives reliably now. It's added a lot of experience to my resume, so I already came into this pretty experienced knowing how to fix cars, figuring out what's wrong with them even if they're not running. But this one taught me a few more things I've not previously encountered. But to give you guys a little update on the car and the channel, if you saw my last Eclipse video, at least I think it was the last one, I got a bunch of stuff for it that I'll be installing. I mean, today is pretty nice out. It's like 50, 52 degrees. But the winter here in Ohio, it's just like a freaking roller coaster. You'll have a few days that are nice, then you have storm blow in and wind, rain, snow, all kinds of stuff. And obviously I don't have a garage, so that's something that'll hopefully be changing eventually. I'd really like to build a garage out here. That way I can work on cars year round. But yeah, like trying to do anything in the winter, especially anything that might take you more than a few hours or might end up taking you, 2 or 3 days, or sometimes things that should only take a few hours turn into days-long projects if you run into issues. So currently I don't get a whole lot of car work done during the winter. It's just pretty much absolute necessity type stuff and maintenance. But here shortly in springtime, I'll be installing all those new parts. But basically, I got a whole new front end for it, and shocks and suspension and sway bar links for the rear as well. So we'll have installs on that coming up. From a performance aspect, I'm at least looking into getting a cold air intake set up for it. I also really want to get that flex pipe, Y pipe, down pipe, whatever you would call it. That's got a hole big enough for me to stick my thumb through it. I'd really like to get that replaced, so I'll have a video on that, assuming I do that, which I fully intend to. But I may also be getting another fun little project car to work on as well, so stay tuned for that. Well, thanks for stopping by and checking this one out for a quick minute, and I hope to catch you on the next one.